Hi everyone, it's Jason at fireplaceblowersonline.com. Have another blower kit I'd like to introduce you guys to. First time we're doing a video on this. This is part of our series of Buck Stove blower kits we've been working on. So side by side, on the right side I've got the OEM kit. On the left side I've got our kit. And this particular blower kit is the MA-ZCBB714 kit. And this is the blower kit you'll find if you've got like a ZCBB series model fireplace or stove. And you know, could be branded as a ZCBB36 or even a ZCBB42. And just wanted to point out a couple differences. I've got a white label over the motor of the OEM. We do not disparage against the original manufacturer. It's still a nice kit. So if you've got the original one, don't freak out. It's still a nice blower. But we've made a couple of improvements over the original kit that we think make a difference on these guys. So let's point a couple of those out. So maybe the most obvious right off the bat, you can see the original OEM brackets rusting a little bit. That is a non-galvanized, non-zinc plated plate. We take it a little step further. We use a galvanized plate. A little more expensive, but keeps the longevity of the plate. We've pulled out some of these things and they're almost completely rusted through. So the galvanized plates certainly help. And the other thing too is that these guys are often used in higher temp environments. So you'll see the OEM wheel is plastic. That is a non-high temp composite. Let me get a view of this. We're using an aluminum high temperature wheel. So any fear of the plastic wheel cracking or warping is eliminated with this. So you'll actually see on here too that these guys are properly pinned and seated versus the OEM ones. They just use kind of like a little small kind of like pinch clamp to hold it onto the shaft. So really nice. Depending on how old your original blower is, it may or may not be ball bearing. Some of the original ones were brass sleeve bearing. Some of the later model OEM ones started moving over to a sealed ball bearing design. We exclusively only use a sealed ball bearing. This particular one is also using a high temperature grease. So the operating temperatures that these guys can kind of like run in are a little higher. Other than that, the kits are pretty easy. These blower kits for the ZCBBs are not designed to be run with a variable speed controller. So they are a single speed setup. They can be run with a speed controller, but the fireplaces typically have a little toggle switch, which is where these two loose ends ultimately connect to. You see those on both kits. And that'll be kind of highlighted in the installation instructions. And theoretically, if you wanted to swap out that little toggle, that on-off toggle switch at the front of the fireplace with a speed controller, depending on your model, we could probably do that for you. So if you've got questions about converting this to a variable speed setup, we can probably accomplish that for you. Cheap overseas built cord, not very nice. American-made power cord, much nicer, more pliable, just much nicer to work with. But other than that, the kits are pretty much identical. They install the same way. There is some hardware that comes with these. I don't have those on the table, but you'll see that the brackets here have two holes on the bottom and a couple of self-tapping threaded sheet metal screws are included with the kits, and those are used to secure the blower to the rear of your fireplace. And so again, that'll be highlighted in the installation instructions. But other than that, that is pretty much the walkthrough of the ZCBB, say that 5 times fast, blower kit for the Buck Stoves. Got any questions, give us a call, 262-989-4882, or email us at support@fireplaceblowersonline.com. Thanks again, everyone.